And call the member for Wallandilly.
Thank you, Speaker. My contribution to this debate will be very brief. In the second reading, the Minister of Planning stated, and I know people are calling it ditto, but I will read it out again. The amendments will restore much needed certainty to make sure the planning system can continue to work as effectively as possible to deliver the infrastructure we need for over 60 state significant development projects worth about 50 billion in direct investment. Those state significant development projects include renewable energy, health, education, data centres, warehouses and distribution centres, mining and minerals, housing and mixed-use developments. While it may be true that significant investment potential by these developments, in my good conscience, I cannot guarantee that the small communities that may in fact be affected by this have their best interests served by the stroke of a pen. I cannot fundamentally support any power being further taken away from local communities, with local communities really reeling with the stripping of powers and their stakeholder consultation. And this amendment would tip the balance even further. I look to each member here, if you're not in a party or not, how you in good faith can vote for this with a mention of such a broad scope without knowledge of those communities. We talked about certainty, but certainty for my communities is really important, that they can live in their communities just as they want to. Or again, is this city versus country, metro versus regions? Sorry, this is just far too broad, and the potential effect other developments in the future is too risky for this and any future governments. This is not to say I'm against any of these developments either. Many, I'm sure, would have enormous benefit, but the community must have a better say. That way we have the community involved and we have better outcomes found. If there are any developments of concern, then transparency will allow us to shine a light before it's too late. And by looking at all the outcomes is much better than just concentrating on the actual individual item. Members, if you think this won't happen to you and your community, think again. Perhaps a few of the former members of my own seat, the seat of Camden, Liverpool and other areas of Macarthur, that have been failed by decision made by over the top of community desires without looking at the cumulative effect. Those members are not here to tell the tale because the community booted them out. That could be our future if we continue enabling the department to have more controls. Outcomes need to be great, not only for the SSD projects, but also for the communities that we represent.